Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another live stream. This is Tuesday, and today we are going to cover the story of another famous person from our list of videos on our main channel. So, my name is Hamza, and as always, I will be the host in this live stream. And as I said before, today will be a listening slash reading live stream where we are going to read one chapter from one of our videos, of our mini videos. And through that video, we will try to learn some English. We will try to discuss that video. We will try to learn some English, and we will try to expand our vocabulary and improve our listening and reading skills. So let me welcome those of you who are already in the chat. I see Amin already there. So Amin, welcome. And I would love to thank the one Tao for the subscription, for the paid subscription. Thank you so much. So yeah, how are you guys doing? How is the beginning of this week? Is everything cool? Isra is here as well. Isra, hey. Amin. So Amin, we have Amin and we have Isra so far. So don't forget, guys, as we are okay, Amin is still here then. So as you guys, Sally is here as well. So we have started having like people who are always here on the live stream, and I always appreciate and like that. So welcome, guys. Yeah, don't forget please to like the video like you see here. It won't take a lot of time. It's very easy. Just click the like button and then come back to join the live stream and continue the fun with us. Today's live stream, the topic of today's live stream will be Abraham Lincoln. So it was one of the videos that you guys really liked on our channel. So we will try to focus on one chapter from that video. So I will wait for you guys until like more of you join. Let me keep this here so that anyone who comes will know what we will be talking about. Let me hide this for now. Yeah. So how is your week going so far, guys? This is the beginning. This is the second day of the week. What does this week look like? Is it a good week? Is it a bad week? What is it like? For me, I think it's a good one so far. Just like same routine. Krishna is here. Our English is told us to print a paper and bring it for today, and I printed it but forgot to bring it. So oh no. That's so bad, man. That's so bad. Yeah. Angry for Isra. It is an angry. What's going on, Isra? Is everything okay with you? So this is how Amin's week is going. Their English teacher asked them to print a paper, but when they didn't, it was a minus for him. Unfortunately, I mean, did he give you your grades yet? Sally says it's not a bad week. Nice, that's good. That's all we want. As far as it's not good, even it's not that bad. As far as it's not bad, then it's a good week. She told me that I will find a minus in the exam paper. It was a first session. Bad start from the day. Yeah, that's so bad. That's so bad. Lincoln is famous. What do you know about him? I mean, what do you know about him? So for everybody just join in, welcome, of course, to the live stream. Today we are going to listen to one chapter from Abraham Lincoln's story. I want to focus on a very, very important chapter in his life. And yeah, let's as you guys tell me what you already know about Abraham Lincoln, I want to go to the first slide. It was a warm-up, and these are words. I wanted to unscramble them. So these are words that will be very important today, in our reading and listening. And I wanted to unscramble them. They are mixed up. The letters are mixed up. So I want you guys to fix them for me. Lawyer, President of America. Yes, he was one of the presidents of America. Yeah. Lincoln is famous. He is very. I see his face very often. Yeah, he is very famous because I think he is on one coin. I don't know what, but I thought that you are asking that how Lincoln look like. Okay, all right. I see now. Then civil war took place. Perfect, perfect, Krishno. Great. So can you help me with these words that we have here? Amin said number 1 is Abraham Lincoln. Number 2 is Civil War. Amin again going very fast. So you guys need to hurry up. Amin needs some competition here. He is always very fast. The guy is very famous, by the way, like you guys are saying, and we'll see. There are very important, interesting things about him. I want to show you one thing. There is a very famous monument that celebrates Abraham Lincoln, and I want to show it to you. Hello, Tolga. Hey, it's been a while, I think, since you last were with us. Civil War, great. The last 3 are a bit complicated. Northern, good. I mean, good. You are doing a great job, man. Maybe the last one. I would say the last one will be very difficult for you. I would say the last one will be difficult for you. So, did you guys figure the words? So, again, for those of you who are just joining, these are words that are related to today's live stream. I want you to unscramble them. What do we mean by scramble? Scramble means that they are mixed, that the letters are mixed. So I want you to fix the letters. I want you to find their actual word. Amin says number 1 is Abraham Lincoln. That's one important word today. The second one, Civil War. That's another important one, Civil War. Slavery, very good. Civil War. Isra also got the third word or the second word. Northern, Amin says for number 4 or 5. So Amin, you still have number 4 and number 6. Shin, something shin, yeah. Indeed. Okay. Are you ready? Shall I reveal the answers for this one? So there is actually a statue in America that celebrates Abraham Lincoln. Victoire, hello to you. You say number 2 is civil. Civil what? There are 2 words there. Northern, Krishna also got that one. Slavery, great. So I see like, okay, Krishna got the last one. Wonderful. I was saying there is a huge monument celebrating Abraham Lincoln. I think it's in Washington, D.C., if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. I guess it's in Washington, D.C. Yes, it's in Washington, D.C. And it's huge, by the way. It's a big monument because the man was so important in the history of America. Emotion. There is no emotion, unfortunately. Sally, no emotions. Well, there is a lot of emotions in the live stream, but not in the words in front of you. So let me reveal the words. Number 1 is Abraham Lincoln. This is a very important word because this is the topic of the live stream. Civil War, because the chapter that we will focus on today is related to Abraham Lincoln during Civil War. Let me ask you a question, guys. What do you understand when you hear Civil War? Civil War. What do you understand from it? What kind of war of this? Who is fighting in this war? Next one is slavery. So while you answer my question about Civil War, I'm going to go to the next one, slavery. Slavery is when one person owns another person, when one person loses his or her freedom and is sold and bought like an object. All right. And slavery used to happen a lot in America, especially to Black people. Maybe let me show you a picture of how that used to happen. So slavery is the ownership of another person, and it's very illegal right now. But unfortunately, in the past, it was acceptable. So, for example, these gentlemen here, they were slaves. Okay, they were slaves, and they were owned. You can see the chains right here. Do you see the chains? So they were chained. They could not escape, and if they tried to escape, they were punished because the white person, bought them with money. So you could, in the past, you could buy another human being, and if he has kids, his kids are also slaves, and you own them, and it was very very bad. Like human beings were not treated so like so fair. Uh, wait, Musa, you are here on time, man. You are here on time. Great. Civil war between. Okay, let me. I find northern and southern exactly. Civil war is war between people in the same country. That's it. I mean, that's it. So civil war is war between people of the same country. Sally says the same. It's war inside the same country. Spanish Civil War, it was Spanish people against Spanish people. American Civil War, it was American people against American people. So it's people of the same country fighting each other. I know about the Graceburg announcement of Abraham Lincoln. I like it the most. I think it will be here somewhere in today's chapter. War inside, war that took place with the North and South. Very good. So you understood from the words that I have in front of you. Civil war is war of citizens, not soldiers. Exactly. It can be soldiers, but it's people with the same nationality. All right. American Civil War is Americans fighting Americans. And this is the chapter we'll focus on. People in the same country fighting. So you guys understand very well what we mean by civil war. Great. Slavery, I've just explained slavery. Southern meaning like belonging to the South. Northern belonging to the North. Emancipation is the opposite of slavery. Is the opposite of slavery. So emancipation is freeing people, is to allow people to go and be free. So I hope these words are clear. Let me see one more chat by Krishna. When Abraham Lincoln was president in the United States, the black were treated worse. Worse. We will see why. We will see why. That's a very good remark, by the way. Good. So a little quiz right now. A little quiz. Uh, let's see if you guys are. What year did Abraham Lincoln become president? And it's okay if you don't know it. It's just that we want to see how much do you know, because it's very important, because after he became president, that the civil war started. So we should know when he became president so that we can know when the war started. So you can give a guesses. 1870. I mean, is that you? Is that you? I liked for the second account. Great. I mean, thank you. 1871, 1861, 1871. All right. All right. 1861. All right. I see a lot of guesses here. Let's see the right answer. It's 1861. Who was the president of the Confederacy? What do we mean by Confederacy? The South. So there was at a certain point two countries inside of America, the North and the South. The South, we call it the Confederacy or the Confederate. Who was the president? So there were two presidents at one time in America. Again, just guesses, okay? If you don't know the answer, just guesses. Amin is back. Thank you, Amin. Thank you. That was so nice of you. Robert Lee. D, C or D. Great. I like how Sally always gives two answers. It's one or the other. Great. Robert Lee. Amin says it's D, meaning Andrew Jackson. I don't know. That's also a good answer because we are trying to learn today. So let's check. Let's check. It was Jefferson Davis or Davis Jefferson. Robert Lee. You guys, some of you guys who said Robert Lee, they are correct, but he was not a president. He was a general. He was a leader. What was the first battle of the Civil War? Fort Sumter, Battle of Gettysburg, Antietam, or Bull Run? Again, I know a lot of you will not know these. You can guess, and we will know them later on during our live stream. So you can just guess if you don't know the exact answer. Hey, great. What's Confederacy? The meaning of Confederacy is Gettysburg. You can just write for me the number A, B, or C, or D. I was explaining. So for this one, Confederacy meaning the South, all right, the states of the South. They were called the Confederacy because they wanted to be independent from the North. So America was divided into two, the North and the South. The South were called Confederacy, and they had their own president, their own flag. So let's check the answer for this one. It's Fort Sumter. Again, quite general information. But what document declared that enslaved people are free in the Confederate States, meaning in the South? Whenever you see Confederate, it's the South. What document declared that enslaved people are free? So there was a document. When people signed it, that meant that any person who is enslaved in the South was now free because of the document. What was the name of it? The southern part of the US, which is half ruled a person, exactly a person. That was in the past. Emancipation. Amin says Emancipation Proclamation. Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, D, B. All right. Confederacy means alliance or friendship between two groups, sure. But in this context, it means the Southern emancipation. Okay, I see what you did there. All right. It's the Emancipation Proclamation. Emancipation Proclamation was a document by which slaves in America were free. The Declaration of Independence, that's another document which says that America no longer belongs to the United Kingdom. All right, it was independence from Britain. But for the Emancipation Proclamation, that's the one we are for. What was Lincoln's goal during the Civil War? To conquer the South, to conquer the meaning, to own them, to end the union between the North and the South, to expand slavery, to spread slavery, or to preserve the union of the United States. Sorry, not group, but country. It's fine. When I listen to the story, focus on few words, not information. That's also good. That's good. That's also good. There is no, okay, D, preserve the union. C, expand slavery. Expand it means spread it. He was against slavery. He did not like slavery. Said slavery is bad. It was to preserve the union. Okay. All right. We will see some words related to what we will see today, and then we are going to read. So match the words with their meaning. Match the words with their meaning. It's enough to write for me number one and then A, B, C, or D. Confederate, Union, Emancipation, Proclamation. Confederate, Union, Emancipation Proclamation. So which one is which? So Confederate. Is it Northern state during Civil War? Public announcement, giving people freedom, or Southern states during Civil War? Tolga says 3, meaning 3. Emancipation is C. Giving people freedom. That's correct. 4, Amin says 4 is B. Proclamation is public announcement, and 3 is C, agreeing with Tolga. Okay. Any more? 1 is D. Amin says Confederate is D. Southern states during Civil War. And 2 is A. I didn't see that. 2 is the Union. All right. It just so that when you hear these words during the listening, you will understand them. So 1, Confederate is Southern states during the Civil War. Number 2, Union are Northern states. So the war was between the Confederacy and the Union. Emancipation is freeing slaves, is giving people freedom, especially slaves. And finally, proclamation is a public announcement. Okay, let me show you something. These are the flags during the Civil War. The flag that you can see here is the Confederate flag, is the flag of the South. And this is a flag of the South that you can see until today. Until now, a lot of people from the South still use this flag right now because they like their history, even if they wanted to like kill the Union of America, they still use it. So that was, yeah, and until today, like I say, until today, a lot of people still use the Confederate flag because they still believe in the old, like all right, let me see if I can find the picture. Most of the time they use them in like those big cars. Yeah, all right, I found you some. I found you some. So these are the flags that were used during a right wing used to use the flag. Mostly the right wing. I completely agree with you. I'm just looking for you for a picture to show you that even today they still use these flags to show that they are from the South. All right, here they are with cards and stuff, and you can see that's the flag that I have just shown you. They still use them today, especially people from the South, from South states of America. So these are the flags. And here, these were the flag of the Union. You can see that it's not complete because a lot of states were not, they went out of the United States. They said, we are independent. We don't like the United States. We want to be our own state. We want to have our own flag. We want to have our own president, David Jefferson. Okay, so let me also show you the map. This is the map of the Civil War. So the red is the Confederate or the Confederacy. Those were the people who wanted to keep slaves because they had slaves working in their farms. And in the north, in blue, we have states that were against. They were against slavery. They didn't like slavery, and that's where Abraham Lincoln was. So let's go, and I think we are going to start the reading. Rules, as always, maybe 3 rules. Listen carefully, and because you will have some questions after you listen. Number 2, if you don't understand, don't hesitate to ask me. You can stop me, and I will be more than happy to explain a word. Number 3, don't forget to like this video before we go and read and listen. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you the listening. So let me share it with you right now. All right. So let me check the speed, if the speed is good. All right. Let's listen.
Now, let's continue the story. Chapter 6. The Nation Divided.
Sorry, I didn't see some messages, so let me very quickly go through the messages because I continue. Gray stats are neutral. Yeah, why are no color stats? No color states. I'm not sure. Maybe they were like out of Trump supported. Exactly. Trump supporters, most of them are from the South. All right. I'm not sure about the gray, to be honest.
Abraham Lincoln became president on March 4th, 1861. It was a cold, windy day in Washington, D.C. He stood tall and serious as he gave his first speech as president. His voice was steady, but his heart was heavy. The country was in chaos, and everyone knew it. For years, the North and South had been arguing about power, about states' rights, and especially about slavery. The South wanted to keep slavery because it was part of their economy. The North, however, wanted to stop the spread of slavery. These arguments had grown worse and worse until the country was deeply divided. Families argued. Neighbors became enemies. The United States no longer felt united. Just weeks before Lincoln became president, 7 Southern states left the Union.
I will
They said, "We are no longer part of the United States."
They don't want to be in the United States.
They formed their own government called the Confederacy,
This is it.
with Jefferson Davis as their president.
All right.
This act shocked the nation.
Yeah.
More states soon followed.
Yeah.
Suddenly, it seemed as if the United States was breaking apart.
Breaking.
Lincoln did not want war. He believed the Union, the group of all the states, should stay together. He called it the last best hope of Earth. He didn't want to fight the South, but he couldn't let them leave either. He wanted to find a peaceful solution. In his inaugural speech, he said, "We are not enemies, but..."
One word, inaugural speech. Inaugural speech or inauguration speech is the speech that a new president gives when he is just elected president. And Trump, by the way, Trump has been elected president, and when he will go to office, he will deliver an inaugural speech. The speech that a president, when he first comes to office, delivers.
But friends, we must not be enemies. But his words weren't enough to stop what was coming. In April 1861, just 1 month after Lincoln became president, the first shots of the Civil War were fired. It happened at Fort Sumter, a military fort in South Carolina. The Confederate Army attacked the fort, and after a long fight, the Union soldiers surrendered.
So the South won the first war, or the first battle.
War had begun. The news spread quickly. People in the North and South prepared for battle. Young men volunteered to fight, believing the war would be short. But Lincoln knew better. He knew this would be a long, bloody struggle. The North had more people, factories, and railroads, but the South had skilled generals and a strong will to defend their land.
So each one, the Union, the North had their advantages, the South had their advantages.
Lincoln faced an enormous challenge. How could he lead the country through a war when it was already so divided? He had to make difficult decisions, decisions that could mean life or death for thousands of people. But he stayed calm and focused. He believed in the Union, and he believed in freedom.
He did not like slavery, and that was one of the reasons why this war started.
As the war continued, Lincoln faced criticism from all sides. People in the North said he wasn't doing enough to win the war. People in the South said he was trying to destroy their way of life.
Yeah, their way of life meaning slavery, because slavery was their way of life. So they said, if you want to take slaves away from us, that will affect our farming because we use slaves in our farms. You see how it worked. And please let me know, is the sound and image clear for you? Can you see the text? Can you hear the reading?
Even some of his own advisors questioned his choices. But Lincoln didn't let the criticism stop him. He listened carefully, thought deeply, and made decisions based on what he believed was right. One of Lincoln's biggest challenges was finding the right generals to lead the Union Army. At first, many of his generals were too cautious, too slow. The Confederate Army, led by General Robert E. Lee, won several important battles. The Union Army struggled, and Lincoln grew frustrated. He needed someone bold, someone who could lead the Union to victory. Finally, he found that person, General Ulysses S. Grant. While the battles raged on, Lincoln faced another challenge: keeping the border states in the Union. These were states like Kentucky, Missouri, and Maryland that allowed slavery but hadn't joined the Confederacy. Lincoln had to be careful. If he pushed too hard against slavery, these states might join the South. But if he didn't act, slavery would continue. It was a delicate balance, and Lincoln worked tirelessly to maintain it. Despite the chaos and violence of the war, Lincoln stayed true to his beliefs. He saw the Civil War as more than just a fight to keep the country together. To him, it was a fight for freedom and equality. He believed slavery was wrong, morally, legally, and politically. He wanted to end it, but he knew he had to wait for the right moment.
All right, that's a very important thing, because there was the Confederate who were leaving the states. They were making their own country. And second, there was slavery. So he had two problems that he wanted gone. But the first one he wanted to focus on was to focus first on making the Confederates come back to the Union, come back to the United States, because they have separated. They are now two countries inside America. Okay, so he wanted to focus on that first. So that's why he did not want to ban, to stop, to abolish slavery from the beginning. He allowed it for some time.
That moment came on January 1st, 1863. Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that all enslaved people in the Confederate States were free.
Yeah, so
the proclamation didn't immediately free every enslaved person, but it changed the focus of the war. Now, the war wasn't just about keeping the Union together. It was about freedom. It was about justice. Lincoln's bold action inspired millions, including African Americans who joined the Union Army to fight for their freedom.
And this is a very important point, by the way. A lot of Black people escaped from the South and went to fight with the North. So they had more men because they were helped by former slaves. So slaves, of course, they will like the North because the North will give them their freedom. So when they escaped, they went to the North and they fought the South.
But the war was far from over. The battles were brutal. Thousands of soldiers died, and many more were wounded. Cities and farms were destroyed. Families were torn apart. Lincoln visited soldiers in hospitals, spoke at funerals, and wrote letters to grieving families. Each loss weighed heavily on him. He once said, "I have been driven many times."
Wounded, I mean, means injured. Injured. So people were not killed, but they were injured. For example, people who lost an arm or lost a leg, or maybe like were injured. That's wounded. A wound is an injury.
Times to my knees by the overwhelming conviction that I had nowhere else to go. One of the most devastating battles was the Battle of Gettysburg in July 1863. It was a turning point in the war, with the Union Army defeating the Confederates after 3 days of fierce fighting. But the cost was high. Over 50,000 soldiers were killed or wounded.
50,000. That's a huge number.
Lincoln was deeply moved by the sacrifice of these soldiers. Later that year, Lincoln traveled to Gettysburg to dedicate a cemetery for the fallen soldiers. There, he gave a short but powerful speech known as the Gettysburg Address. In just 272 words, he reminded the nation of its founding principles: freedom, equality, and democracy. This nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, he said, and government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. For the people, said, and government of the people, by the people,
so it's government
for the people, shall not perish from the earth. His words echoed across the land, giving hope to a weary nation.
Weary meaning tired, a tired nation, because they have been fighting for years and they are now tired. But his words, they gave them
Through
hope.
it all, Lincoln remained focused on his goal: preserving the Union. He faced incredible pressure, personal loss, and countless sleepless nights. Yet, he never lost sight of what was at stake. To him, the United States was more than just a country. It was an idea. A place where freedom and opportunity could thrive. As the war dragged on, Lincoln began to see a glimmer of hope. The Union Army, now under General Grant, started winning more battles. The Confederate Army was running out of supplies and soldiers. Victory was within reach, but the cost had been terrible. Hundreds of thousands of lives had been lost, and the nation was forever changed. The Civil War was the darkest chapter in American history, but Lincoln believed it was necessary to save the Union and end slavery. He once said, "The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. We must think anew and act anew." Lincoln's leadership during this time showed his strength, his compassion, and his unwavering belief in justice. The country was divided, but his steady hand guided it through the storm. He didn't know it yet, but the end of the war and his greatest challenge was just around the corner. Chapter 7.
All right. So the Emancipation Proclamation and everything else, you will find it in the video. It's 1 hour. It's almost 2 hours long, right? So you can watch the whole video, the story of Abraham Lincoln from the beginning till the end, from his birth till his death. But for today, of course, because we don't have a lot of time, we are going to listen just to the chapter that we have listened to. The question now: Lincoln gave his first speech on a warm, sunny day. Is that true? Is that false? from the text that we have just listened to. Let me probably do like this so that it's clearer for you. It was false, says Amin. False. False, says Krishna. Great. So you guys have some good minds. False windy day. All right. Tolga too joins them. Yeah, it was not. It was a cold windy day indeed. Very good. Let me ask you a question before we move on. What was the cause of the civil war in America? How many causes did they mention? So, how many causes of the civil war in America were mentioned, and what were they? A warm, warm meaning not hot, not cold. It's in the between, but it's hotter. Thank you so much, Isra. Thank you. Warm meaning a little bit hot. 200,000. What's that? No, the reasons, the causes of the civil war. Sir, I don't find my question. You're talking about the question about writing, Krishna? Or maybe I will make a video about it in my personal channel. Yes, sure. I just don't want to cut the live stream about Abraham Lincoln. So in the end, probably I will answer it. The slavery between the South, that was one, slavery. So one of them was slavery. One of the reasons, one of the causes of civil war was slavery. The second one was the union, because some states started separating. They wanted to create their own country. The Confederacy consisted of 7 states at first. Is that true? Is that false? Because there was a number of states, and then other states started joining them. So how many were in the beginning? How many states decided to leave the United States and create their own country, which they call the Confederacy or the Confederate states? False, but Amin says true. Krishna says false, but Amin says true. So can you guys justify your answer so that I know which one of you really is like? I cannot remember. It's okay. It is true. 7 states initially left the union. And by the way, I think I'm not very sure, for the gray states that you guys asked me about, they belong to other countries. They belong to France and to Spain, I think. So they were not American at the time. The North had more skilled generals than the South. Is this true or is this false? The generals. So each army had a general. In the South, the most famous was General Lee. Are there 13? There are 13 flags, 13 stars in the flag. Normally, right now, there are 51 or 52. 5 states. No, it is 7 in the beginning. Let me check. But very that you paid attention to that. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So let me show you. So this is the original Confederate flag. This is the original Confederate flag. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So 7 states in the beginning. But others, of course, joined. Others joined them. Yeah, I've just showed it. Let's check this one. It is false. The South had skilled generals like Robert E. Lee. The Gettysburg Address had over 500 words. I'm not sure if this is mentioned in the text, to be honest. At this point, I'm not sure if the questions are in the text. For Confederate flag, I've just showed it, by the way. I've just showed it. 272. I mean, that's a short but important speech. That's very interesting. And you have a very good memory, man. You have very good. It was very short, and in it was mentioned, we want a government by the people, of the people, for the people. Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. Is that true? Is that false? Let me see. I like the speech very much, indeed. Indeed. I didn't read it, all of it, but I'm going to read it later on. I'm going to read it. Memory in stream, English, not real life. I see. Right. So this is true. It was issued on January the 1st, 1863. Now, we are not going to do the second reading because of time. And unfortunately, I did not wait. Wait. Stop sharing. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I need to I didn't all right, let me just animate some of the all right, so let's see this now. I think it's true. You mean the last one? I already went to the next one, right? Because they were not. The answer was already on the screen. Okay, so what was Lincoln's main belief during the Civil War? Destroy the Confederacy, protect slavery, preserve the Union and ensure freedom, or conquering new territories? You can answer by adding by typing A, B, C, or D. C says says C. Cool red robot in your closet. Ah, I see. Yeah. C. Okay. I really like to collect toys, by the way. That's not the only toy that I have. I have a lot of toys in my room. I have a lot of toys in my room. I have all sorts of toys here. I even have dinosaurs, even. Because I really love to collect these toys. Okay, so let's check the answer. Indeed, so it's C. It's to preserve the Union. He did not want to destroy the South. He wanted them to join the United States again. And he did not want to protect slavery. He wanted to finish slavery. What did the Confederacy do shortly before Abraham Lincoln became president? Declared war on the Union, left the Union and formed their own government, freed enslaved people, they said you are free, and signed the peace treaty with the Union. What did they do? 1 month after. We have a lot of things in common. So you are a collector, kind of. It is the thing we know best now. Great. Yeah, I'm kind of. I really like to collect animals. Let me show you a mammoth that I have. This is a mammoth. I like toys of animals. I like toys of animals. I mean, do you collect toys too? I have all sorts of animals here, and this one I really love it. It's a dog. Can you guys see it? It's a dog. It's a dog, right? Oh, okay. Now it's better. It's the dog, and though it's a dog, it's it can hold the paper so that it can remind you of things. So it's a dog, and it holds like papers for you, like notes and stuff, or pictures, or so I really love it. I really like these toys. I collect pens and toys. I don't collect pens and books even. No, I only collect toys, to be honest. I collect trash. What? Cash? Okay, okay, okay. I read it trash. I collect gun. I prefer gun collection. Tolga, if I remember well, you are from Turkey, right? And Turkey, I think it's allowed to have a gun. Because here I'm from Morocco, you are not allowed to have a gun, unfortunately. Sir, we are interested to know about your family. I hope you share it after about your family. What kind of information do you want to know, Krishna, about me and my family? All right. So it is B indeed. Last question. What was the significance of the Emancipation Proclamation? It declared that enslaved people in the Confederate were free. It freed all enslaved people immediately. It ended the Civil War, or it reunited the Union and the Confederacy. Having a gun, people will make a tournament of 4 versus 4. Uh, Honestly, I would love to own a gun one day, but we don't have here in Morocco. We don't have the capacity to do that. We can't do that. So that's why I asked Tolga. You are from Turkey, if I remember well. Can you tell me I have a good memory, please? Reassure me that I have a good memory, because I think my memory sucks. All right, let me answer this one. It's the first one. It states that all people in all slaves in the South are free, but it did not end the Civil War nonetheless. All right, some vocabulary. No, not this one. This one. All right. So, sacrifice, equality, slavery, and turning point. I want you guys to fill in these gaps here. Let me do this. Yes, absolutely, it's A. All of them are correct, but the first one, especially, I mean, because for ending slavery, it did not end slavery immediately. It just declared, okay. And the second thing, it did not end the Civil War. The Civil War continued after the Emancipation Proclamation. Slavery, very good, Krishna. Number 2, Amin says turning point. Okay. Turning point says Krishna as well. Amin says sacrifices. I'm from Turkey, but I can not understand completely. It's great. So in Turkey, you can have a gun. You can have a gun. In Morocco, in my country, you cannot have a gun at home. Well, you can, but it's very difficult to have. It's very, very difficult. Uh, I mean, as always, Lightning McQueen, yeah. Slavery indeed. Abraham Lincoln believed in freedom and fought to end slavery in the United States. The Battle of Gettysburg was a major turning point. A turning point is an event that changes the events, right? It changes things. Many soldiers made great sacrifices. This is what you guys said, sacrifices in war, giving their lives for their country. And the Gettysburg Address reminded people of the nation's founding principles of equality, because one of the reasons why they were fighting was slavery. Okay, great. So I think that was that. So let's seize the last few minutes There is no Second Amendment. Unfortunately, no Second Amendment. So you guys can enjoy your guns. How many guns do you have? How many guns do you have? You need to be an agent or something to get a gun, and you may not have it either. Uh, uh, I guess, but I think also in Morocco there are special hunting guns. Hunting, if you can use it for hunting, yes. But other than that, no, you can't. But it's very difficult to own a gun here in Morocco. Unfortunately, I would love to have one. To be honest, I would love to have one. I want to try a gun. So yeah, let me go back to Krishna because Krishna asked a question before and he was very upset that I did not. Anyone from Bangladesh? I didn't see this question. Is there anyone here from Bangladesh? Answer Krishna. Krishna asked me about writing. Okay, here it is. So the question is about how to improve my English freehand writing. Uh, uh, if I understand you well, you mean just do you mean the writing like this or what? Pump action, revolver, rifle, knife. Okay, nice. uh, so freehand. I think if you, I will make a video on my personal channel by the way about this because this is a very interesting question. I think one of the things that you should do when you start writing is to learn to write the main ideas in bullet points. Let me show you. Let me demonstrate. Oops, not here. Let me demonstrate to you guys. Since I'm enjoying the live stream, I would love to stay with you a little bit more. But the internet is very bad, unfortunately. And it's so slow. Okay. So what I meant by this, so when you want to write, imagine you want to write about American Civil War. So you want to write a little paragraph. So what I always like to do is to write bullet points like this one. Where is the bullet point? All right, that's the bullet point. Come on. This is why I said the internet is so slow and it's really bad. Okay. So bullet points is when you write. Come on. Where is the bullet point? All right. So first I will start with the definition, for example, and then I will write north, and then I will talk a little bit about the south and why it started. Right. So I always like to start with this. I like to start with bullet points where I lay all my ideas so that all the ideas are in front of me. Okay. Let me give you another example. Maybe you want to talk about social media. So let's just go out of the Civil War thing. Social media advantages and disadvantages. For example, this is an example that I always use with my students. So if they see this, they will say, "Hey, do you have only this topic to talk about?" Yes, I only have this one. Okay, so in this topic, maybe I want to say social media use. For example, then maybe I will talk about advantages. All right, I will talk about disadvantages, and then maybe I will talk about some solutions. For example, in the end, in the advantages, maybe I will talk about connecting with people. All right, maybe I will talk about learning. Like right now, we are learning from social media. Maybe making some money if you are selling anything on social media, making some money. So this is one. And then in the disadvantages, maybe I will talk about scams. Scams is when people take your money. Maybe, for example, content. Social media biggest problem is it's a waste of time. It wastes your time. And finally, maybe if there are any ideas, you can suggest them for me in the chat. And maybe at the end, maybe it's like physical problems, like or health problems, like eye problems and neck problems. I hope you guys are following. So this is if I want to write a little article about the social media advantages and disadvantages. I found out bullet point. Bullet point is this. No, bullet point is this. Wait. Bullet point is this. This. That's a bullet point. So bullet point is the opposite of paragraph. Okay? Paragraph. So paragraph is a paragraph. But first, I start with bullet points, meaning just like arrows. Arrows like this, like 1 point, second point, third point. And then I make everything into paragraphs. Let me see your questions so that I can I try to practice. You can try. Oh, wait a second. You guys were not looking at what I was writing. sorry. You were not looking at what I was writing. Okay, I see now the confusion. I thought you were looking at what I was writing. So this is a bullet point. This is the bullet point I was talking about. So as I said, if I want to write a little paragraph or little essay about social media addiction, I will start with putting all the ideas that I will talk about. So for me, I will start by talking about social media use, then talk about in the advantages, and in the advantages, I will talk about connecting with people, learning, making some money. Then disadvantages, I will move to the second point, disadvantages. Scams, there are a lot of scams online. Waste of time, social media wastes your time. Eyes and neck problems. This is the neck, because you are bending your head like this to look at your phone. It will give you a neck problem. I don't have friends. Okay, it's okay. By the way, I will show you what is the solution. I will show you the solution in a moment. Oh, give me a second. All right, I'm gonna give you the solution if you don't have anyone to practice with. So, and then, this is for Krishna, and this is for everybody who is struggling with writing. Write like this. Start with putting all your ideas on the piece of paper like this. So you will talk about social media, then you talk about ideas, advantages, then disadvantages, and then solutions. So paragraphs here. And then you start developing the idea. So social media use. We can say billions of people use social media every day. I'm going to keep it simple so that you guys can follow well. They use different, I'm going to like keep everything simple. Different platforms. They use different platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter or X, Twitter. However, these platforms can be beneficial or harmful depending on how you use them. So this is a good introduction. So from one idea, I started developing the idea. And of course, if you don't like anything, you can still, this is not the last version, okay? And then I will move to advantages. On the one hand, social media has a lot of advantages. And then I will say, first, it helps connect people. You can, and I can even explain this idea. What do we mean by it helps connect people? You can communicate with people from all over the world while you are at home. So again, I'm just like developing the ideas that I put in the beginning. Learning. Second, there are many accounts where you can learn various things. WooEnglish, for example, I'm going to give us as an example. WooEnglish, for example, is an amazing account where you can learn English through stories. Nice. Next one. Finally, you can make money on social media. This can be done by buying and selling or even partnerships. Okay, and then I will move to the disadvantages. However, or on the other hand, social media can be very harmful. All right, and then I can start. First, there are many scams that one can fall victim to, and you carry on. So I just wanted to give you the idea. I may be on the other hand. Exactly. Waste of time overwhelms any benefits. Sorry, I misread the question. Now I got it. Great. I don't have friends. Okay, I'm gonna answer that. So I hope this is clear for you guys. I hope this is clear. So first, you write just the bullet points, the ideas that you want to discuss, and after that, you start to you start like expanding on them. So I hope that's clear. All right, so let me show you for people who are saying that they don't have anyone to practice with. I have solutions for you. I have the solutions for you, and the solutions is on my personal channel, Hamza Jatte. This is my personal channel, and it's been a while since I posted anything on my personal channel. It's a pity, to be honest. Okay, so give me one second, please. Just want to show you something, and then we stop the live stream. Sorry if I kept you for too long today, but I hope you benefited from the live stream today, where we talked about Abraham Lincoln, and very quickly talked about how can we write. Maybe we can do. Do you agree with doing a live stream about writing? So this is my channel. This is my channel. Remember how to write the name. This is my name. All right. Remember how to write it. In my last video, this is for Tolga. So Tolga says doesn't have anyone to practice with. So if you have, so these are 5 ways in this video. I share with you 5 ways in which you can practice English even when you don't have someone to practice with. So go to my channel. This is the name of it. And watch that video. And of course, don't forget to go to this channel that you are watching right now. We have tons of videos about like teaching English, stories about like various people, like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and the list goes on. So these are the people that we are talking about. So you can go to our channel, and this is the video that we talked about today. We know it, like people liked it more, so that's why we decided to talk about it. So I think with that we come to, I think there have a correction. It should be on the other hand. Let me see what you're talking about. Yeah. On the other hand, yes. On the other hand, that's it. It's correct. On the other hand, on the one hand, and on the other hand. So we say on the one hand, on the other hand. So with that, guys, we come to the end of this live stream. Thank you so much. Thank you, Krishno. Thank you so much. So I hope you guys will find WooEnglish is too close to 3,000. Hopefully, we will hit it before 2025. So thank you so much, guys. See you next live stream on Friday. Please leave for us some comments telling us what do you want to see on our live stream. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Have a great